So we've got the full breakdown for 1121. We'll dive into the entire chapter here, including stuff we missed yesterday like potential details on Shank's brother or the top holy knight, plus an epic double panel at the end that's so impressive it made Red curse. Let's jump in. The chapter kicks off with Saturn launching an attack on Bonnie and Kuma using his poisonous legs. The giants unite their shields to fend off the attacks. Luffy scans the scene and spots Bonnie, back in her Nika form, struggling to stand. She's still worn out. Luffy deflects one of Saturn's strikes away from Bonnie, but doesn't engage Saturn directly. As discussed, Bonnie returns to her Na form effortlessly. Unlike Luffy, she seems to manage this transformation at will. Meanwhile, Luffy is avoiding a direct clash with Saturn due to his regenerative abilities. Since defeating Saturn seems impossible, Luffy opts to neutralize his attacks instead. This sets up a scenario where Luffy needs to discover how to harm the Gorosei. Moreover, Luffy wants Bonnie to avenge herself against Saturn, delivering a powerful strike even if it's not fatal. As the scene unfolds, Luffy tells Bonnie, "You are the one who must do it." Bonnie glares at Saturn, gathers her strength, and floats into the air, ready to fight. We then shift to Vegapunk's message, his closing remarks. Vegapunk predicts that an incident similar to the Void Century will happen again because the catastrophic weapons from that era still exist in this world. As he speaks, we see Vivi and Shirahoshi reacting in Skypier. Konis and Aisa arrive at the palace to greet Viper's crew, all unaware of Vegapunk's broadcast. It's intriguing that Vegapunk brings up the ancient weapons, followed by Vivi and Shirahoshi's reactions. Shirahoshi symbolizes Poseidon, but Vivi's inclusion here suggests a connection to the theory that Ainu took over Lily's body, Vivi's ancient relative from the Void Century, as she could control Uranus. This implies that Vivi represents Uranus and Shirahoshi represents Poseidon in this context. Vegapunk continues, stating that the heirs of races meant to be erased from history still exist. As he speaks, we see Kuma and Elbaf's ship, then a flashback to a conversation with Vegapunk about buccaneers. Marco recalls Whitebeard's tales of the land of gods on the Red Line. We also see King, bandaged in a dark room, thinking about the Lunarians. Finally, we see Pudding in a cell, reminiscing about her childhood and the taunts she endured for having 3 eyes. We learn King is likely imprisoned, possibly in Impel Down. Pudding, meanwhile, was captured for her ability to potentially read the poneglyphs. Returning to Elbaf's ship, Saturn continues to attack Bonnie, but Luffy deflects his blows. Bonnie recalls the first meeting between Saturn and Kuma at God Valley, memories of Ginny when she was a baby, and Saturn admitting he experimented on her mother. Bonnie angrily confronts Saturn, saying, "How dare you do all that to my dad and mom? There is no way you guys are gods, but gods do exist." We see reactions from Kizaru and Sentomaru, with Kizaru still down, contemplating. Bonnie remembers Kuma talking about Na as she cries and shouts at Saturn. In a flashback, Kuma promises to save her. Bonnie, moved, declares, "And heroes do exist. I wanted us 3 to live together. I even thought I'd rather die than be alone." She imagines a life as a baby with Kuma and Ginny, who thank her for being born. Bonnie says she lives on because of their wishes. Saturn snaps, "You darn insects," in an epic double spread, as Bonnie and Giant Luffy gear up for a combo attack on Saturn. Vegapunk's message continues, urging humanity to take care of itself when disaster strikes, expressing his faith in human wisdom and science. Meanwhile, we see Iceberg, Judge, and Caesar in a heated debate, and Helios reacts on Egghead Shore. Inu faces Jupiter and Mercury in another stunning double spread. Luffy and Bonnie execute a combo attack. Bonnie lands a giant punch on Saturn's face, while Giant Luffy strikes the rest of his body. Saturn's body is torn apart, full of holes from their punches, limbs and horns ripped off, plummeting into the sea. Giants cheer and even Kuma seems to smile. This moment highlights Bonnie's immense power, though not quite matching Luffy's. She's formidable enough to impact Saturn with Luffy's help. Granted, the Gorosei's power scaling is bizarre. Dory and Groggy managed to contend with them and Kuma struck down Saturn. So it's ambiguous, but Bonnie's pseudo form proves potent. The Thousand Sunny nears Elbaf's ship, and we see Usopp, Chopper, Jin, and Zoro. Vegapunk continues, saying legends like Roger and Whitebeard's deaths merely herald a new age, an era of unstoppable individuals nearing the truth. Roger might have set this in motion intentionally from the beginning. We flash back to Roger's speech before his execution in Chapter 1, My Treasure? It's yours if you want it, try and find it. I left all the world had to offer in that place. Vegapunk adds that it's uncertain who will claim it, hoping it's Joy Boy, but acknowledging it could be anyone, including Blackbeard or Buggy. In Hausu, pirates grow restless, eager for T.I.'s return to set sail. In Sabaudi, Art gets drunk and passes out. Shaggy says, Granny, you'll catch a cold like this. On the Red Horse, Shanks is also heavily drunk. The Red Hair Pirates warned, Boss, you've had too much. Shanks retorts, shut up, I haven't. At Cross Guild, everyone is awed by Buggy's deep ties to true history, excitedly listening. Crocodile and Mihawk watch silently, clearly annoyed. Buggy is bewildered, muttering, huh. At Marine headquarters, officers insist they must seize it before anyone else. Vegapunk concludes the chapter by stating that the fate of the world will be determined by whoever claims the One Piece. In a spectacular final double page, we see Vegapunk's final words alongside a collage of One Piece's key characters: Luffy, Blackbeard, Shanks, Buggy, Akainu, Dragon, Aimu, Kobe, Kizaru, Garling, and Sabo. Vegapunk says, by the one who will claim the One Piece. Among these panels, there's a mysterious shadowed figure holding a sword similar to Shanks. End of chapter. As we discussed, this mysterious figure could be Shanks' brother or a relative, given the hints that Shanks might be a celestial dragon and Garling's son. Shanks' sudden appearance alongside Garling supports this theory. We'll need to wait and see. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is Shanks' relative? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day and see you in the next one.